Hello, everyone. I am Brady Briggs here for another episode of the Combat Logic, brought to you by mymmanews.com. Joining me today, fresh off his UFC Vegas 33 victory over Bryan Barberena, is Jason Witt. How are you, Jason? It's nice to talk to you.
Hey, nice to talk to you too, man. I'm doing well, man. It's been a crazy weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet. How's your chin feeling?
Today was the first day I could really move my neck around. It popped a little bit. So that was always a nice wake up call.
Yeah, it's good. You had a very good first two rounds. You controlled him with your wrestling. You even dropped him a couple times in the second round, and then throughout the third, what was it like having to survive that?
Yeah, man. So I kind of expected the entire fight to be like round three. So I really visualized being in bad position, the entire two fights. So to have 1 and 2 go the way it did was actually kind of a blessing in disguise. Round three was rough, but the place I come from at Glory MMA Fitness, we're cultural winners, and no matter what the circumstances, we're coming out on top.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's a very difficult task the further the fight goes. His history shows.
Yeah, I really didn't expect to drop him either. I knew he had a tough chin, and I know I hit hard, but he's kind of one of those guys who's notorious for just taking punches and moving forward. So to drop him a couple times, really a surprise for myself.
For sure. Did you think that it would be a draw, or did you think he did enough to win?
No, I definitely thought I did enough to win. I definitely thought round 1 and 2 were in the bag for me. I don't know how you can see my expression when they announced a draw 28-28. Yeah. I had no idea. Like even if you give him a 10-8 round in round 3, which I dropped him twice in round 3, he dropped me twice, and I still took him down. Yeah, he won round 3, I'll give him that. But still, I don't know how you get that at a 10-8 round. If you give him a 10-8 round, you got to give me round 2 as a 10-8 round. That's just see how it's a draw. But at the end of the day, you go back and look at it, still a W next to my name. That's really all that matters.
Yeah, for sure. I scored the third at 10-9 because you did still have your moments in it.
Yeah.
Did you have a headache after the fight?
A little bit, yeah. I don't think it was more of a headache from getting punched. It's like a dog next to me. Headache from being punched. I think it was a headache from being exhausted. Like I stayed over after for the doctors for probably about another 30 minutes to make sure I was okay, which rightfully I should have been. That was a tough fight. But once I got a dude, I'm not doing this right now. Once I got like a little bit of sugar and caffeine in me, I was good to go. They gave me my teammates gave me a Coca-Cola, and I drank that, and I was good 10 minutes later. So I think it was just more physical exhaustion than it was actually like headache, concussion, or something like that.
You were awarded your first $50,000 fight of the night bonus. Explain that a little bit.
That's just gangster. I love that. I mean, if I got to go through a round 3 that looks like that, I might as well get a little bit of bonus out of it. It's pretty cool. It's definitely the icing on the cake after 3-round war with Bryan Barberena.
Yeah, it was definitely a good way to open up the main card. So I read on your Wikipedia page that you got your start in 2009, right? You started training then.
I have a Wikipedia page.
You sure do.
All right then. Hey, yeah, I think somewhere around 2009, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Was it because of your uncle?
It was kind of a multitude of things that all came together in like a month of each other. At the time, I was living with my parents, and there was people next door to me across the street that were doing strength conditioning in their backyard. And I showed up one day, and I think I was in like camo cargo shorts, and I jumped out of my car like Dukes of Hazzard style because my door wouldn't open. Didn't happen back in that day. And he's like, "Hey man, you trying to be a fighter?" I'm like, "I'd like to fight. Like that'd be cool." He's like, "Come do strength conditioning with us. I'll give you a gym to go to." And so I started training with him. And then this same week, I started training with a buddy of mine that him and I had gotten a fist fight like a couple years later or before. And we didn't really talk. And we kind of met up at a gym and started doing kickboxing together. He was taking classes and kind of showed me that. And this is all like within like a week or a month of each other. So it kind of just worked out really well. And him and I started sparring, and he kicked me in the face one day, and I showed up with a bloody lip at work. And my uncle, who I worked for at the time, he's like, "Look, man," he was a professional kickboxer and boxer back in the day. He's like, "You?" I was like, "Absolutely. Like, why would I not take free training?" So I had all 3 of those things kind of come together at once, and that's kind of what got me started.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty ironic happened that quickly for you.
Yeah, it was weird. I always wanted to fight. Like my ex-girlfriend at the time hated me for it. I was like, I just want to fight. She's like, why do you want to hurt somebody? I'm like, I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not a violent person. I just want to compete. I want to against people who want to fight. And it's kind of ironic looking back at that statement now, considering, this is what I do for a living.
Yeah, right. In the UFC doing well. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fast forward a few years, 2013, you make your pro debut. What was it like for you as a fighter early on? Like, what was life like?
In terms of what? Like in terms of like the fight
difficulties?
Man, I've been a blessed person. You know what I mean? Like the only hardship I think I ever had is my mom I literally went to my mom. This was back in 2009. I was like, she always told me if I ever fought or I get a tattoo, she'd kick me out of the house. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. I don't have any tattoos, but I got to fight next week. So I actually lost that fight too. But she didn't win a fight. She didn't like me fighting. She never really like wanted me to get beat up. She didn't think it was cool. But one day she came to training with me, and she saw like I was hitting mitts with my coach Bill Brown at the time, and she saw how much I loved it. She saw that it wasn't just I was just beating each other up and I was doing this doing that. She kind of saw the culture behind it, and from then on, like she's always supported me. But like then on, she's like 100% in. She's all about it. So she was kind of like my most difficult part at that time. But other than that, man, I've been super blessed. It's been something that I've loved doing and I was just able to do. And I kind of set the tone. Like if I dated a girl, I told her, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you don't like it, there's a door. Like, you know what I mean? I always say that on date one, because there's no point in going further if you're not about this life. And that's
right. So. Yeah, that's who you are. My mom was like that too. She didn't like that I got into it in 2009 as well. She didn't like it until she saw me practice or ended up watching the fighters' interviews, seeing that they're not just all barbarians.
Yeah,
I mean, a lot of them are like that.
I think the Ultimate Fighter really helped that out too, opened the door up. It might have made it worse a little bit too, because some of those fighters are assholes. But it kind of just showed like a different culture of people. You know what I mean? Like you don't see like Rich Franklin was a math teacher. You don't see a guy going in on a Monday morning to teach math, getting in a fist fight with the world champions of the world either. So like people just have kind of a misconception of who fighters are. Like look at Brandon Moreno, the dude is like, but you kind of call him one of the biggest nerds, but like one of the most dangerous people in the entire world too. So just I think the culture's changed a little bit in terms of how people look at MMA fighters too.
Yeah, for sure. And it'll only get better as the years continue to go.
Yeah.
So you're Glory MMA and Fitness. How long have you been with James Krause's team?
I've been with Krause, I want to say about 6-7 years. I've known Krause for quite a long time. I trained at Grindhouse, which was before Glory, way back in the day. Trained with them a little bit. And then I went from Submission Inc., which was Bill Brown, and then I went to HD MMA, which is Jason High, who I still train with this day. And then I transitioned over to Krause probably about 6 years ago, somewhere around there. And I've just been there ever since. And that's been just kind of life-changing in every aspect of life.
Yeah, I bet. I'm so glad he's decided to take the coaching role. He's got a lot of really great students.
The fact that man did not get nominated for Coach of the Year, every person on that panel is out of their fucking minds. Like I don't understand. The dudes in Vegas every single week coaching, like I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. At least get nominated. I mean, you don't have to win, but like at least get nominated. Like I've met some of the coaches that are on that list and fantastic coaches, but they're nothing compared to Krause.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I understand that completely. After a fight like this, when would you like to get back in there?
I mean, soon. Like I got to let some things heal up. My knees are just shredded from that damn mat. It gets time.
Someone would always say that.
Yeah, that UFC cage just murders everybody's knees, especially grapplers and wrestlers like me. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to fight once or twice by the end of the year. I think that'd be doable. It's only July, so I got plenty of time to kind of heal up a little bit, get back into it. And I think I'd like to add a couple more 50K bonuses to my resume too. I don't want to just be one and done. I want a couple. Trying to make some money in this game.
Yeah, buddy, fighting like that, I'm certain you can do that. You like to shout out any of your sponsors, any of your teammates?
Man, you got to shout out Glory MMA Fitness. They're just we're we're a culture of winners, and that's kind of one of the things that bred me to win that round 3. You know what I mean? Like, I got those 3 guys in my corner: James Krause, Jason High, and Julian Marquez, and those guys literally willed me, screaming at me, losing their fucking minds, just kind of going crazy in that corner to get me to that 3rd round. So that, you know what I mean? A lot of people just see me in the cage, and yeah, it was me, but there was Barberena was fighting 4 of us. He was fighting 4 of us at the time. So I mean, you gotta understand that this is a team sport. At the same time, it is an individual sport. So I got to thank everybody, Glory.
Yeah, well, that's one thing James also does very well. He gives very good instructions, like during the fight and in between rounds.
And everybody, there's a Reddit page that gives Krause so much shit for that too, which I didn't know about this either. I found out about the fight. There's a Reddit page that thinks Krause does too much coaching in a fight. Like they just talk shit on Krause coaching too much. Give him a lot of crap for the Anthony Smith fight, which he wasn't even Anthony Smith's coach at the time. But I guess because he's so active and so emotional for the fight, I think he does too much. And when I'm in the cage, that's what I want. I want somebody who's like, when I'm sitting in the corner and it's round 2 and 3, he's like, "Listen to me, motherfucker." I'm just like, like, you need somebody to bring you back. You need somebody to understand, you know, Krause is that guy that he's with you every day. So he knows how to train each. He's also intelligent in the fact that he does a lot of things outside of the sport in terms of like he researches a lot of like how to teach different people, like how people's mindset works, stuff like that. So he knows. Like, you can see him talk to Grant Dawson different than he talks to me, or talk to Jeff Molina different than he talks to me. So he knows how to coach different people, and that pays dividends, whether people understand that or not. Like, they just think he's yelling at you. They're stupid. So
right. No, I agree. I just rewatched the fight, and in between rounds 2 and 3, he was yelling at you the entire time, and it probably, you know, it wakes you up.
I need that stuff. People need that, whether they understand it or not.
Yeah, it's motivating especially after fighting someone like Bryan for 10 minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for coming on and talking to me. We look forward to your next fight.
Thanks, Brady. Appreciate you, man. Take it easy.
You too, bud.